Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, still live here on the Vacation Times here with us here on PT Racing TV. But the vacation never ends and my timing never stops as I get to the broadcast side of things. I welcome you back live here on PT Racing TV to the showcase here for Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League in the Gen 4 Cup Series, the Nashville Superspeedway, here live on PT Racing TV. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Trower, joining you guys here once again. What an honor and a pleasure to be joining you guys here today here as we are settling ourselves off to a vast wilderness and a vast array of wild racing, a wild little speed out on the track here. This should be a big one here today as these drivers are going to be looking to push and shove and drive their way across the plains and across the track in a very tight ordeal here. Again, Nashville Superspeedway, a big long mile and a third long track. With instead of asphalt, this is more concrete-based surface. That could throw a bit of a monkey wrench into some of these drivers' plans and a bit of a gap or two on some of the others. This is where you're going to really have to pace yourself on the track and more smoothly rolling the car off and more into the corners down the best of your abilities here, especially with this Gen 4 Cup car. And that's nasty little tire situation that you got to roll through here. So I expect a lot of drivers today going to be really wearing and tearing the right fronts out, the right rears a bit as you go. And I'd say as time moves on, you'll start to see a little bit more moves and headways kind of thrown into the bunch. So expect a lot of moves being done and driven out on the track here. As we get ready to showcase to you today is Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League, presented in part by our friends at Six Sigma Sim Racing, your #1 Moza and Sim Magic dealer on the market with high quality racing rigs and chassis to build. Six Sigma Sim Racing is the way to go. Looking at qualifying right now, 30.28 there for Corey Abbott, setting the fastest time, and his mark is getting a little bit of a feel of the track now with the wear and tear being set up. Austin Lauder and Ailton Norgard tying each other, but Lauder able to get a little bit more speed on the thousandth of a tenth marker there compared to Ailton. So that could be a bit of a difference maker, could be a bit of a jump or two that could really throw Norgard a little bit off the rocker and off the boat here. So we'll have to see how that handles out on the track. Also, I do apologize in advance if you hear me occasionally get a little quiet or it sounds like I've got a little bit of a yawn in my voice. I apologize in advance, but if you know, I'm about 2.5 hours ahead of when I'm supposed to be doing these calls. So just so you're aware, that's the reason why. So good side field though online tonight with us here. Of course, Abbott, Brian Beeman back with us. Got Kerry Brooks out on the track. Chris Schuessler in that 61, new old William White. The driver everybody right now probably keeping a close eye on and tabs on. He is right now the hottest driver of the bunch. But of course, you can't say too hot about drivers until you look at the big bad rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, the #18 Home Depot machine. You want to talk about guys that are not only been annoying me and switching their numbers around multiple times. Kahn, why did you switch the 18 this time, dude? What is going on? But he's also probably going to be, if not the toughest driver to take down on this race. We'll have to see how it goes. Experience above all else will take this one home. The field now rolling out on the track here in Nashville Superspeedway. We're getting here down in Lebanon, Tennessee. We're ready to go, as I hope you guys are doing the same. Here is your field of drivers now getting locked onto the circuit. On the pole, and the #21 will be Corey Abbott, the outside, and the #14, that is Austin Lauder. Row #2, and #12, it is Ailton Norgard, and the outside, and the 777, it is Kerry Brooks. Row #3, and the 43 is going to be William White, the outside, and that 41 is Brian Beeman. Row #4, and the #20, that will be Andrew Hardcastle there, but to his outside in the big 6-1, it's Chris Schuessler. Row #5 will be piloted down there by the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, the 18. The outside, and the #2 is Chad Lancaster. The final stars today is the #3. It's Arthur Clements. That is your field of drivers. That is going to be your lineup. And I remembered how to get all those numbers, names, and drivers off the list because I pretty much know every single one of them in this one. So it's pretty easy for me to kind of catch who's driving what, who's where, and when on this circuit. So let's see them roll off and build that power up and build that drive. It's going to be one heck of a ride coming up. The field going to patrol to the track here. ready to move their way down onto the circuit. Very interested to see what exactly they have in mind and what they'll bring to the table here. A few things to kind of work up and fix out, though, will certainly be whether or not Corey Abbott can get a good start here and a good leap. Alan Norgard winless still this season and throughout. He's trying to finally change that, trying to finally get that off his radar. Corey Abbott looking to try to do some big things here. Kerry Brooks been a shocker this season, but the biggest shock has been the complete turnaround from the driver across the pond, and the 43 William White looking to continue his winning ways as we roll him down to our 6 Sigma Sim Racing starting zone. It's time to go racing. Rolling right down through the first set of corners here in the 777 of Kerry Brooks, immediately taking a good eye there on the spot, taking a good drive off from the top. He got a run there in between. Now he's trying to see if he can fire it onto the bottom lane, took the bottom shelf away and throw the middle shelf right at the 14 of Austin Louder. Louder, though, has a slight advantage being able to drive up to the outside line, getting a little bit more speed, a little bit more power there to rip off from that corner exit. But the downside is that 900 horsepower could mean a change in the pace and a difference maker. But it does wear the tires out a lot quicker there for Kerry, so he's got to be careful about trying to push it up too quick and try to push it down too much and try to hold that line off. That's one thing you just can't do quite a bit of in this kind of racing background. We're on board here with that number 12 here, Valence Norgard. He looks to battle for third here. Gone head-to-head there with the number 14 of Austin Louder here. Louder trying to really make something out of the season. Hasn't quite had the best of luck throughout his course, throughout his speeds here. Looking to maybe break it or make it in this kind of ordeal, in this kind of racing speeds here. Of course, next week there'll be an off week here for the 6 Sigma Sim Racing Oval League, so that will at least give us time to kind of catch our breath too and get back to business as always. We do have one more call though next week. We will get in not just Sunday night, of course, with the Porsche Cup Challenge, but also it sounds like we may be getting back our GOAT Racing League Super Series there, as they call it. So we'll be seeing those drivers, I believe, down in Dover Motor Speedway next on the bunch. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and what they bring to the table down on the track. Stacked up behind right now currently the number 43 here, William White, going head-to-head there with the 777 and that 12 down there. Both drivers pushing the gaps, building the speed, and seeing which one can do the best of the other. Meanwhile, while they battle back behind him there a little bit, you can see the 41 of Brian Beeman, the 20 of Andrew Hardcastle, all in that mix here. Kind of surprising. I talk so much about Robert Kahn, the rattlesnake, and he is way, way back behind the pits and way back behind the field, more than I thought he was going to be here in this case. See if that maybe translates to what he's planning on doing for the long haul. Still a hard drive off here with 11 drivers still coming into this field. It's certainly going to be interesting to see just how much of that speed and power and the wear and tears you do to these machines that's going to force them into making very crucial strategies. Again, we talked about before on what it means to just be able to run a car at that level, that kind of speed. But it's a whole different thing, though, to learn how to control that kind of speed, that kind of power. It's one thing to race it, but how do you control it when you need to most? That is exactly what they're trying to figure out right now. That's exactly what they're trying to put 2 and 2 together on. That's Corey Abbott, the number 21, just absolutely laying in the lead and laying in the speeds. He's put everybody to darn shame here. Got so much power kind of rolling off the bankings there, through the corners. It's kind of surprising to me that he's kind of slaying up as much as he is. Really kind of pushing more to the gas, more to the runs and the zones here. I think more than anything, though, what you'll see further as we go along is that they'll start to kind of do what they're doing right now, which is they'll start to slow up a bit, then they'll kind of build that pace back up. If Abbott is driving way too quick and too hard right now, he'll end up costing himself later, because there are drivers like William White that are extremely patient, extremely clever on just getting consistent laps each time around. Yeah, we always talked about that being the fastest doesn't always make you the best. These kind of races, it's all about position, precision, and timing. Precision, and timing is what executes everything into a glorious plan of an attack and an action that only you can focus in on and you can make up when the time is right. So go on board with the number 41 there, Brian Beeman, working right behind the number 777, and that 43 there, William White. He goes for a little spin around there off of turn number 4, catches the car just in time, a little slide it up. Oh, my. That 43, he certainly looked like he was going to be on the other side of the sea. Not under the sea, but he was going to be somewhere, probably a little further back behind the seabed, because that thing was going straight in, across land and into the ocean flanks. Well, we are in Tennessee, though. We're in Nashville, where I'm at right now. I could literally see the ocean across outside my door. No joke. And speaking of no joke right now, I think the rattlesnake looking to try to show everyone he's still not going to let up on anybody. He paced back early. Now the old snake is starting to sneakily creep his way up. He's starting to get a little bit faster. He's building power up. This is what I always say about that machine. Doesn't matter what number he drives or just tries to tick me off on trying to keep up with his numbers. You gotta know one thing's for sure. The old rattlesnake is as sneaky and as clever as they come. He loves to strike, he loves to bite, and he has no qualms about who gets a piece of those fangs when he snatches you on there. So you best be careful you're making the right moves at that right time, because it's gonna be one heck of a ride. And as I say that there, you can see now after building the power back up and now driving it down on the inside corners of 3 and 4, he's got his position on the natural light of Mr. Beeman here in the 41. Natural light 41 currently not taking too kind to what the Home Depot number 18 just threw at him, but unfortunately he just put him back in the back of that depot, and now he's looking to try to climb up to the rest of the field. Moving right along right now, Chris Huesler, Chad Lancaster, Arthur Clements there, all struggling to keep up their speed. You can see Lancaster, you can see the 3 of Clements, the old Goodwrench service number 3 machine. Good to see that scheme still rolling around. Trying to hang in there with Chris Huesler in that 61. It looks like it might have a little bit of right front damage. From earlier on, might have smacked a wall around or two. He may have got himself into a bit of a problem. Next zone, the Little Caesars machine certainly has been known to get himself into trouble here or there. But maybe not to the extent he was expected today. A little back on shot there from the 21 of Corey Abbott. Again, Abbott, he knows a thing or two about really putting the speed up and putting the distance up, but his win-loss counter this season, oh my word, it has been something else. You normally don't see a driver of that caliber, that kind of magnitude, struggling this bad, nor would you see it from Alex Norgard. But really, this car is completely thrown there for a complete loop. The WWT Raceway race winning to Robert Kahn, and Pocono was all Kahn just sending it down to the boys. But on the other races, it was William White, the very first at Charlotte Motor Speedway, shocking everybody and finally ending a winless streak. And finally got himself into victory lane when he needed to most. I talked to him about that, and yeah, he said that first one came, then the second one came around, then it was like, well, it's off to the races now, ain't it? But then, of course, Kerry Brooks in that 777 at that road course of all things in Sonoma. Man, I want to talk about a guy that just decided to rub his hands together, create a little bit of warmth, and the next thing you know, he had a whole fire started on these boys. I don't think you could even have talked about it any better or gave him any more clue that you could do it. Even when Norgard got ahead of him, Norgard still made a big mistake coming from pit road. While Brooks was coming out of pit road, and gave Brooks pretty much the hand in the lead beyond belief. And Norgard told me earlier, I have no idea why I can't get this figured out. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. All I know is I just need to put something together and get this figured out sooner rather than later. I'm running out of time. And time he certainly does not have, not this late into the season. With a couple more races to go and a little bit more timing and execution that can be used up. A lot of things go into these kind of battles here and these kind of choices. Again, you got to think that long-term strategy versus the short-term strategy. Having to get tires at a certain place, making sure you get fuel lined up in there as well. may only have 11 drivers out on the track, but you're still racing like there's 30 or 40 of them out there trying to hunt you down. You cannot let up. You just simply cannot. And Corey Abbott, it looks like he may have drove a little too hard out of the gate. May have put himself into a bit of a pickle early on here. This is not what the 21 wants to see as Norgard catches him a little bit. Remember, he was a full second plus back there. Norgard has now closed the gap up to just about a half a second. And really, where is that coming from? Simple, the turns. Look at how Norgard kind of squeaks his way into the turn and then kind of gently rolls it off. Whereas Abbott, yeah, he's building a lot more speed, a lot more power, but unfortunately entering into the turn, it's kind of hurting him more than anything. So he's going to either need to build it back up by simply driving it extremely well in the entry and extremely better off on the exit. But again, with the amount of tear and wear that it gets out on the tires, is not going to be enough to hold back for some faster guys like that maybe rolling up on him, such as, say, maybe a lone rattlesnake just sneaking up behind the entire field. Con told me earlier today that one of his best strategies is just wait around until somebody just decides to make a complete mistake and give him the opportunity. How does he do it? It's real simple. He just waits. He's extremely patient. And it's a scary thought, but believe me when I say it, I've not met a driver that can just wait around that long and then just find a right time to strike and a right time to open up and speed off from you. And I've had to deal with him on multiple tracks and multiple surfaces, from the dirt to the asphalt to pretty much anything you imagine if it was a rain condition or anything like that. He's just not going to let off easily, and he'll get you when you least expect it. And unfortunately, Austin Lauder, another victim in that scenario. I think the only times really actually that Con and I have kind of gone into a bit of a dual draw was probably actually at Watkins Glen with those Chevrolet Corvettes. I think that was like the only time, and it was on the broadcast here actually for PT Race TV back when we had the Pushing Limits Racing League. That was the only one. That was the first one I ever got in Pushing Limits. Con did not make it easy. He ended up sending it right at me into the bus stop there because he just couldn't pass me. He said, I'll still say at the end of my days, that car is literally glued to that track. So the fact he even tried that, let alone try to make a big move like that, just shows you the kind of rough and tumble nature of him. But generally speaking, Wise Con's usually a pretty clean, pretty conservative guy. But I'll tell you one thing, you make someone mad out here, I mean, it turns you from a complete conservative guy to probably being a little bit more trouble, a little worse for wear. As Arthur Clements at 3, you got to get off that wall, good sir, or that's going to initiate caution territory. Trying to, but it looks like he's got a problem down there. I think he may have destroyed that right front completely out, side skirt and all. I think he got the steering back under on it, but it does not look like it's going to work out. Yeah, he's got a major problem right now. That thing is not driving. There is no speed off in the distance. He's going to have a massive issue on his way if he continues to stay out on the track. Drivers right now trying to wave him around, trying to get him out of there before it's too little too late. Onboard camera here with that number 43 of William White. You can hear the tire, you can hear the wear and tear, you can see the speeds just continuing to increase and get even worse for wear on him. I think that's kind of the scary part for him, again, is the fact that he's burning up so quick and stirring so much up. But he's still trying to use and manipulate the strategies when he can, still trying to force everybody to make a good choice in a very optimistic position there. As Clements finally gets to pit road, Chris Schuessler also from pit road, but coming out, ends up getting himself another lap down for his trouble there. Poor Schuessler, man. He's not had so much luck this season, nor in other previous seasons, but he did have some good plate racing times out on the circuit, but since then it's pretty much just been, well, what can you do? Hope and pray or just go for the race. Gary Brooks, Andrew Hardcastle going to work their way right around him there into that position. So Gary Brooks right now, I got to believe, probably just thinking back to when he won at that road course there in Sonoma, probably thinking more than anything, like, that was probably my enduring and most best race I'm ever going to get out of my car, unless all of a sudden I can start figuring out these ovals. It's not to say he can't drive a decent oval on the car here. It's just Brooks, in my opinion, it seems like the biggest issue for him is he loses sight and then he loses focus sometimes on the long game versus the short game. It's like, if he's got power, he's got speed, he knows how to use it right away. But then again, you got a race like this is all about finesse and fatigue and how much can you handle when you start to really dip in and dip a little longer around the track. That's one big thing that we talk so much about, and it decides to rear its ugly head more often than not. Gone right now, kind of patrolling in there, shooting it down through turn number 1 and 2. William White, Elens Norgard in that mix and in that bunch right now. White trying to squeak by that number 12 there, right down to the bottom lane. This is a con too. You hear how smooth he kind of transitions the car off there. You can hear it actually has a lot of power, a lot of give, but he's not trying to force it off. He's actually more or less just trying to ring it through. Best way I can explain it, ringing it through is basically where it just kind of naturally bites and fights through the track, and it lets it kind of smoothen out the track instead of trying to force it to do what you want. And William White moving into that second spot, the 23's one Simware.com, number 43, Landon C. Chevrolet. Now looking to try to take part in a little, shall we say, feast, if you will, on that 21 of Corey Abbott. Maybe get a few fish and crackers or fish and chips out there. It's hard to say. All I know is he may be looking to reel in a few cape. He's already reeled in the Capeland. Now he wants the big cod down there. Little vacation joke for anyone that gets that one. But behind him still, you can know Norgard's obviously not going to give him any room or any time to breathe. He's just going to try to put his foot back down underneath his neck and his throat and just keep it right there to him. Doesn't want to lose out in speed, doesn't want to lose out on the power. He's trying to give her everything she's got to get back into that run and back onto that drive to that 43 machine. Rolling him back down through right now. Robert Kahn, the number 18 years, still relatively clean through so far. Just been watching on and watching closely at the right position at the right time. And Austin Ladder just reeling in that top 5 position as well. Man, he's been pretty close sometimes in these races. Honestly, I think the best one he ever had was like probably at Charlotte Motor Speedway about 2 or 3 seasons ago. He ended up coming away with a 2nd place finish there. Almost had himself finally the victory lane trip he's been looking for. But I think out of all the other drivers, I think he's probably the best one that hasn't won yet, unless you include Brian Beeman in there. But Beeman, I believe, has got a win already. If not, then he's right there with Louder. Andrew Hardcastle, I mean, if he gets it going, he gets it going. But consistency-wise, I haven't really seen Hardcastle be up in that standard, that level. You know, I always say when I do these calls and I do this stuff, I expect like a certain level of speed, a level of drive from every driver and from everyone that makes it in these kind of momentum and these kind of shoots. And if they don't show that, and they can't bring it to the track, it's kind of hard to really catch them, really kind of hard to really see them really pulling up all the momentum and all that drive off. And I think it's kind of one big thing we expect so much anymore, that really has become almost kind of a force of nature, if you will, kind of a freak, kind of makes you a bit of a freak of nature in some cases too. Well, Corey Abbott still leading out by a good full 9/10 of a second. Could be a full second this time around. We'll see how that does for him. But nevertheless, let's take a look at our onboard camera here on the number 21. See kind of almost a glaring pattern there when he was doing it in turn 1 and 2 versus what he was doing in 3 and 4. He's just kind of rolling through the top side, trying to reel the bottom up on the wall. But then as he comes back around to the front straightaway, the car has to dip into that yellow lane there on that yellow line, then back it down, scratch it up a little bit on the surface, and then bring it straight into a smooth roll. So it goes like this. Shoot the entry very smooth, a little bit slower. But as you then come off the exits, it's a hard exit and a hard clear. Somebody made a kind of an interesting little take on it. It's like as if you literally were putting Kentucky and Iowa together, and that's what you ended up with. That's about what I would say too, to be honest with you. That seems about right, doesn't it? Well, nevertheless, though, White right now looking on, trying to get up there to that 21 again, though we saw earlier when Alex Norgard, he tried his luck, tried his hand, he could not get it going. Could this be a change of the pace? Or is it just another footnote in the likes for Corey Abbott? Only he may decide that choice and decide that fate by simply just racing it from point A to point B. So keep it now 1/3 of the way done with this race so far, and it has been pretty much whoever can climb to the top and climb to the back, works the top and works the lines around. That's pretty much the way to go. Been a bit crazy here for the early part of the early going, but man, has it been kind of rolling down on the edges here. Ryan Beeman, the number 41 here at the moment, currently hanging in the top 5 background right now. He's got Austin Lauder in his sights, but still hasn't quite been able to catch up to him. Thankfully, no damage there he's suffered through or have to worry about. Gary Brooks, 777 machine. Pretty much just kind of rolling so far and just keeping himself out of trouble. He knows he cannot make any mistakes. And it looks like he'll get into pit road as well there. So the 777 going to be one of the first guys into pit road in terms of being on the lead lap, in terms of being right on the speedster's boost in the track. Around right now here. I think honestly the way it's looking, I think maybe these guys may be trying to get as far into the track and far in as far as they can go. Maybe looking at trying to get to the halfway point, or maybe they're trying to get just as whatever they can get out of it and then try to save the fuel from there, because obviously they were driving pretty hard earlier. Things have quieted down, as I used to say, and now it looks like it could go from either good or bad to worse, depending on where they want to take it. Abbott going to draft it right off on the number 61 here, and he's just keeping his momentum up. Looks like Schuster getting a little bit up into the draft zone for William White. That could be an effect here. Could be a bit of a bad spot there, and he didn't want to get put into there. Meanwhile, behind it, look at this now. Draft him up 3 wide just for a second. Huge money-making decisions here for Gone. Gonna go head to head here with Norgard and Ailits. Norgard probably right now wants to block and get him out of his way as soon as possible. Yeah, he's dropping it low. He's dropping it high. He wants to block the living daylights out of him. No give or go from Norgard. Yeah, I gotta believe I said it once, and if I had to say it over and over again, I guess maybe I should. What do you not do to the snakes? You don't tick them off. What is Norgard doing? He's blocking the snake, and I know that round snake is not patient whatsoever. Believe me, I've already figured that out at Homestead Miami Speedway one time. He's currently trying to force every little run there on the 18, but that 18 machine is just looking to just kind of pace himself and basically look to gravitate the car around as much as he has to. He'll certainly be looking to make a pass if he's going to shoot for the run here soon enough. Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Norgard now backing it up and trying to hang in there. Still patrolling on the bottom, trying to block and trying to grab up anything he can. Doesn't want to lose it. And Khan now with that move off, you can see once you just let him loose for a little bit and let him open the doors up, well, that's all she wrote. That's all she'll give. Norgard has fallen victim to the rattlesnake's demise, and now Khan has moved into third place, trying to hunt down the rest of the field. Still though, William White not getting anything figured out on Corey Abbott, so now he's going to try it out with pacing the strategy out. Abbott looks like he might indeed go the full halfway, and if he does, it may work. So now the field currently trying to build up whatever they can get left out of it. Schusler now 2 laps down. Arthur Clements 3 laps down. Only 1 lap there for Kerry Brooks. But again, him and William White on pit road. Ailits and Norgard just going into pit road now as well. He'll fall a lap down, but he's going to get right behind that 43 machine. Looking to hit it up a little bit. Corey Abbott to pit road. Khan, the last man of the bunch. He decides to stay out just a little longer. I'm not sure if it will work or if it will mess up everything for him. But you can't blame him for at least trying or looking to maybe make something work when he can't. Khan now to pit road. Abbott is still in there. He's just getting out now. William White looking to come right up on him on the back. Looking to take this one down to the notch and down to the speed. He's going to get it just enough off that corner exit turn number 2 and takes that all away from him. We have ourselves a new leader here, and it looks like it will indeed be that old number 43. We'll see if that clocked in right. Meanwhile, in the pits, Khan trying to hurry out of there before it's too little too late. Abbott coming up quick, and so is William White. There's going to be some buildup and some power off. Khan's going to need to make up the ground, make up the loss. Looks like Kerry Brooks actually might be in the leader's lane here just for a second anyway. I'm kind of surprised by that. I thought honestly he was ahead. I thought he was behind a little bit, but that actually was the battle for third. Now leading into the battle for second here as Khan is looks like strapped behind a little bit. Yeah, he's going to be a few positions behind. Again, my live timing is not with me, guys. I apologize in advance. Kerry Brooks, yep, there it is. There you go. Kerry Brooks, your new leader. William White closely catching up. Now, there is one bad side to this, though, is that now everyone knows they got to go to pit road at least once to get fuel. But do they take fuel and do they take tires, or do you just take the fuel? If I was them, I would just take the fuel and bamboozle it out of there, but time your strategy right to catch them. Save the tires right now. Focus in and gravitate towards the lines and see where it paces yourself in. But do not let up, no matter what you bring and no matter what it does. Pulling it back in and right back. Spade here. Looks like battle for the lead. Brooks gave it all he had to hold off White, but that's not enough. And now Norgard switching it up. And Abbott too. 4-car battle for the lead. Brooks tripped up on the top side. Oh, I hurt my head for a second. Next thing I know, everyone's closer together than I usually can be with any of my relationships. What on earth? That is some serious speed and power and boost off as William White takes the race lead away. I guess that's why they should sell me, not to turn my head for 1 second and forget out what I'm doing. Just remember to always watch what you see and watch what you do. Ripping him back around here. Battle for the second spot. Abbott and Norgard. Head to head, trying to outdo and outsmart the other. Rolling it back on through right now. William White got company behind his door panel, and he knows they're there. He's got them pretty much deadlocked on him to try to take that lead away. White right now looking to block off, trying to get the brigades cleared up around there. Kahn, Louder, and all them trying to catch up in between. William White there on the top front now, moving his way to the chains. He's got all the momentum working perfectly in his favor. Halfway home, this has been some extremely impressive, aggressive, and antagonizingly good momentum that paced up on these drivers, and they knew it too. Coming back around right now, off of turn number 3 we go. It may be Norgard's time to start making some jumps here. Looking to speed boost his way in between with that 43 of William White. White trying to hang in there. Powering off yet again though. White not going to be phased, not going to be detrimental here. Kind of wondering though with Brooks and Kahn back there, what exactly is their plan? Are they going to start to kind of make some moves here, make some jumps off? Well, for Kahn, I think he's made his answer pretty clear. He did not want to wait around old Brooks there. He moves the chains, he moves the speeds, he moves the planes, and he just makes it work and wheels and deals it. He's moved into the 4th spot, was originally in the 5th spot, but now he's just giving her everything she's got. Norgard's still trying to hold on, trying to hang in there. Everybody looking closer and closer at the long-term ramifications, the goals that makes this set in the mind. Right back behind him, though, the number 14 of Austin Louder now starting to slowly kind of creep his way in between, moving his way to the distance. Yeah, Louder knew he had to make some runs there. He had to kind of get himself back resituated and a little bit more obligated to the momentum and the key aspects of this kind of racing ordeal. So he managed to make his way ahead. There are the 777 now. It's all about just timing and pacing their way around. Norgard and White still battling for the lead. 54 laps to go. At least another pit stop needing to be made. If not, you're going to need to basically put this thing on save and kill drive, because you're right now in the mix of a tough run and a tough little speed boost and occasional shot in the dark here. There is no way escaping it. There is no way around it. You only can run with what you got. Know that it is there. Rolling it right now in between Corey Abbott. Big jump there on the inside lane. Entering in turn number 1 there. Look like now he's going to start to kind of capsize and collapse up anything he can. Knows he's looking to try to hang in there a little bit. Try to build up a little bit more power off of the drive there. Building it right back around. They'll have traffic going to be a factor there as the 43 of White having to deal with the 61 of Chris Schuessler. In the ninth spot, 4 laps down. Now going to be 5. As Abbott slowly but surely starts to now creep his way in. Remember earlier, White was struggling to keep up there. Abbott was actually getting a little bit more speed off from him. I think that's late race strategy. That extra lap may have came into effect here. I think a lot of these guys were probably hoping and praying that there'd be a little bit more time to kind of spray the tires around and give them a little bit more speed, a little bit more of a gap up to use up. But now, as you can see, things are changing just a little bit. And don't look now, but on that back right of your screen as well, may I introduce to you again the old rattlesnake, because Khan has actually been creeping up a little bit closer to these guys. And he's not creeping on the low, he's going on the low, and he's riding solo to get to this one. He's only got one big thing on his mind in his plate, and that is just to take this home. He's trying to hang in there with them. And he's got a little bit of an idea where he's going to go with it. And you can just hear all that power, all that drive off these guys are using up on each other. This car is just taking such a beat down and such a beating. It is infallibly compressive and just crazy to even think of, let alone to see. White right now currently keeping Abbott behind with 45 laps to go. Anything at this point can happen because, again, we have to see another pit stop at least made. And also, you got to think we have a lot of drivers probably just trying to figure out and narrow down any kind of gap they can hold on for the best of their abilities. The Throttle Chantel Bottle says, let's go Con in the chat here. Chantel, thank you for tuning on in here. Rooted on an old ally and an old nemesis of hers, I would presume. Gotta love the respect, though. Of course, any driver will come out here and tell you that we love racing each other, but we absolutely hate each other at the same time. Why is that? Well, really, I'm not totally sure myself. I just know when I'm racing my friends and all that, they made my friends off the track, but when they're on the track, they've now become an enemy because I've got to race them to my endless core, but I'll still run them the same way anyone else would. Con hanging in there while White still pulls around on the gaps and trying to manage the gas pedal up a little bit here. Con starting to get a little bit closer up in the gap, and he's going to have an old friend now with the number 12, Ledge.GG. Elitz Norgard here looking like he could be in for a bit of a rough ride, trying to, oh man, that's not blocking, I don't know what it is. Norgard is just keeping the rattlesnake in a very, very temperamental spot here. And he is not wanting him to pass. And Con is getting extremely annoyed about that. Look at him pulling that thing extremely close to that rear end of the 12. Norgard, I would not be playing chicken and mouse with him, or cat and chicken, or whatever you want to play. Or game of chicken is what they call it. I don't even know anymore. I wouldn't want to be playing that game with a snake that'll just bite you literally and give you the venom for it. That thing will strike, and it will strike hard. You don't want it. And now here he goes. He's still throwing the block down the back straight with 3 and 4. Oh, my. That shot him up in the turn, though. Got him pretty loose there. Tightened up the car and gave him more headaches than it was worth there. Norgard now. Look out between on the front straightaway. Here comes the rattlesnake. And honestly, at this point, if Con catches him in the corner, I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe just gives him a little rattling of the cage here. He's got to be getting extremely annoyed down there with this heavy blocking. Again, I know Norgard wants to win, but blocking this late with this kind of position for third, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. That to me warrants a good little push and a bump and a shove for doing it in the first place. But hey, I'm a little old school, I guess, on the asphalt side of things. On dirt, you just find another groove, or you just send it in there and hope that it didn't destroy them in the process. Backed up on the outside now. Con finally getting a move off. That's one thing I'll give him credit for. He's a lot cleaner of a driver than I am. I'll be the first to admit that. Norgard getting it right up on the bottom lane, trying to shoot it out, but Con able to make a move, finally gets it around. Some heavy, heavy blocking from that 12, though, and if you want to tell me I'm lying or I'm not seeing it right, I'll let you know right now. I saw that 12 going straight to the bottom, in between, and then around into the mix. You can't tell me for 1 second he wasn't hard racer trying to block the living daylights out of him. Good Lord Almighty. William White now, 38 laps remaining. 38 to go. Abbott still trying to keep it close, trying to keep his speed up and get the distance down on the track. Abbott looking for any kind of extra little give or any little extra go he can get. He's trying to figure out, though, when and where is he going to time his strategy out. Is he going to be able to time it just in time? Because, again, he's got a lot at stake and a lot at play here. And this could be the ultimate detrimental position for him to have to face up against. William White, man, I don't know what has came over him this season. I don't know what he finally figured out. But whatever he did, whatever he done, more than ever, I think we are finally seeing a resurgence. We're seeing a complete shift in dynamics and a complete 180. His style of racing, his style of precision and control onto the track. To me, it seems like more than ever he has become that full circle driver, become that full circle metal mayhem, or just kind of absolute power unit of a man. The one that can get to championship levels of precision and accuracy. Austin Ladder still hanging in that top 5 background. Norgard has gone to pit road, now come out on the track here. Kerry Brooks came out a little bit later than he did, so unfortunately, or came in a little earlier, and then Norgard just kind of jumped in right ahead of him, so that will help him get the race lead back. Brian Beeman's already been in there. Corey Abbott and William White still yet to go. Khan has yet to as well, so now this becomes more of a question of not of when, but not of if, excuse me, but when are they going to decide to make that sort of decision? I mean, if I am White and Abbott right now, I don't think I would want to wait too much longer out of the track. You give old Norgard some time to catch his breath and kind of breathe a little bit, or even Khan too. I would say you're probably in for a very rough ride down there. Abbott dipping low yet again, trying to see which way this will go. William White, man, he's just been pretty conservative and patient. And he's just letting it go and live out at this point. Again, I think earlier on he probably had a chance to catch the Abbott, but I think maybe he was thinking a different strategy and maybe trying to see just how and where and what exactly that car would do after so long on the track before he started to really pick the pace up or put 2 and 2 together. Honestly, I think I like the way it was, and I think I like the way he kind of narrowed it down to. I think the biggest thing was really just a matter of if and when he goes to pit road, is it going to reflect on what Abbott decides to do? Will he decide to just kind of take the reins off the track? Will he just decide to make a move off into the distance, or just take kind of a roll off from that place, that position? It's hard to say. It's extremely hard to say. White backed on the top, now to the bottom, and he's going to just continue to keep Abbott right behind him there. They are still going for a long haul. Andrew Hardcastle, the number 20. Oh, man, I don't even know what to say to that. Armor all number 20, man. Just seemed like every lap, every distance, every corner, every drive, it just did not get any easier. Hardcastle trying to stay out of the way of the leaders here, but he's pretty much kind of pushing Abbott a little bit closer there to him than White. At the same time, I think Hardcastle actually wants to stay on the lead lap, so I think he's trying not to go a lap down anymore. Well, actually, it's a whole lap down as it is. He's just trying not to go down another lap. This scores you spots, this scores you positions. Jay Mitchell says, hey all, Jay, good to have you on board and welcome to the show as well. Always love seeing you guys on the track. Love seeing and hearing from you guys here on the circuits and the shows. And again, for those that are just tuning in that have been with us for quite a while, I do apologize as well for the overlays and the graphic style, as well as my horrible live timing calls here. They have currently, well, we get to pit road right now. William White and Corey Abbott going to go in there. We'll see what Khan's decision is. Looks like Khan already got in there, so now everyone's just trying to figure out the rest of their plans. As I was saying, I do apologize for the gorilla style camera system as well as the overlays here. I'm only on vacation for a little bit longer, guys, but I will be back to the usual studio soon enough. But, you know, we had to at least get our calls in, and we still had to at least do our job as a broadcast crew. So they were very kind, generous people that allowed us into the studio and made it for us. But I can say it's definitely not my usual setup. I will say that. Jay Mitchell says, I'm hoping end of fall into winter. I'll be up and running and joining on to this as well. Well, we certainly would love to see you on there, Jay. Rolling down from pit road. Big jump out for the number 43 as Abbott's just going to try to get back to him there in time. Corey Ailens Norgard, though, 10 seconds now ahead of the positions. And Robert Kahn vastly building up speed and building up power as well. Abbott now knows he's going to have his hands cut out for him, his work cut out for him. Norgard thinks he may have pulled a beautiful strategy on these guys, may have thought of something brilliant here. White still right in the mix and right on that nose. And the way Norgard is ahead, honestly, I don't even think he took all tires. I think he only took fuel and a few tires and went off from there. Gary Brooks, though, he's catching up to him, and he actually is building some speed back into it there. Austin Louder and all them, too. Not too far behind. But the ones they got to worry about are those fellas there in the 43, the 21, and now looking to be the 18. I wonder if Norgard probably said something to Abbott and said, well, maybe I should probably not do what I did to the old rattlesnake, but apparently may not have heeded the warning because he's still gravitating a lot of push and a lot of speed off there, just trying to hang in it. Jay Mitchell says on vacation too. Yeah, Jay, I've been, trust me, it's been a very fun and a little chaotic, I should say, vacation. But hey, that's what vacations are for. It gets you away from all the hustle and bustle of usual work and a little more time to relax. So I'll take it. On board there with Khan there yet again, as you can just see him still trying to maneuver through here up to lap traffic. Kerry Brooks, Austin Louder caught up there, but now they have all the dealing there from traffic size to absolute unit of a speed boost size. William White, fresher sets, fresher fuel, fresher drive, lingers and pushes his way around. And Austin, yet again, still fighting and still crashing and still clawing. He's not giving up just yet. The fuel and the tire limit is there. Louder, try to hang on, but again, you just can't keep the snake down. You can't keep Abbott down as well. Moonshotted it through and a hard run out from the exits to the playing field here. Now looking just to continue the gaps and to continue his hard rolls and racing position in between. Neither driver right now wants to give an inch and give up any position or any time here. 19 laps left on this track here. Alias Norgard still about 6.5 seconds ahead here of William White. Is that necessarily enough time to stay ahead here? Again, we've seen William last laps, though, catch up to Norgard, catch up to Abed, just steal one. William wants to win number 3 this season. And honestly, out of all the seasons, he had 3 full seasons. He was winless. He's trying so hard to finally end this scenario by getting a championship out of the process and maybe having 3 wins into that total that season. It's hard to say. Norgard, though, you gotta believe he's probably feeling like a bit of like a Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now. It just feels like he's been winless way too long. This guy, remember, was literally the first winner and champion of the seasons here. Took that one home handedly when he got into the first season. Second season just came out swinging again, and he was striking them all down. This season, season 3, all of a sudden it's like a complete 180. And William right now, look at this. He's got some gaps growing up here. He was about 7 seconds back. He's now cleared it down to almost 6.5 seconds. He's catching a lot of speed on those straightaways here, guys. I think Norgard is starting to realize he may be in for a very long haul, depending on how things go. He knows he's going to have to keep his speed up. But one thing, too, I think it may be helping a little bit, too, is look at what the 21 and the 43 are doing. Look at how they draft off one another. Look how they kind of build a little bit more speed, a little bit more runoff. Keeping a close eye on where and when the drive will settle them and then where to go from there. I think, honestly, that may be the smoking gun that could be helping a little bit. Obviously, not just based off the fresh tires alone. I think that's obviously the biggest part of it. But I think with Norgard, where he's at and what positions he's in, he's got all that clean air, so he doesn't have to worry about it. But because the other two are kind of drafting off each other, it helps to get that air back center point to the rear spoiler, then allow those tires to drip up and gap through. Momentum is key, and its kingdom is really the hardest part to defrail and to defile no matter where you go. And you can see they're about 1.5 corners there. Jay Mitchell says, I read a little on the Discord. Is there prizes at the end of the league? Jay, I'm not completely sure, but I presume there is probably some prizes at the very end of the season for this league. Yes, I would say so. A lot of leagues we see racing out anymore going on. They always have some kind of little prize or little thing at the end of the season, sometimes for top 5, sometimes just for the winner, sometimes it's per race. It's a lot of stuff that they give out, and there's a lot of things iRacing has definitely kind of helped make drivers and a little more things go crazy and wild over. I'll say that much. I myself am a little crazy on it too. I've got a couple medals I've actually earned from the leagues here, which is honestly just an honor and a pleasure to even be able to get anything from doing this kind of crazy stuff. But hey, I'll take it where it's whatever I can. Jay Mitchell says more season. Sorry, I think it's the end of the season. Yeah, I think it's what it is. 12 laps to go. Gap now down to 3.5 seconds. William White, man, oh man, he needs to start putting something together here, and he needs to do it quickly because Norgard is not that close as he may think, especially with 11 laps to go. And Con maybe starting to see that too. I like the strategy Norgard came up with here, but is it going to be long enough? And if a caution pops out at any time here, well, let's just say that entire strategy has just gone fully out the window and he's got nothing he can use on it. He's keeping speed up. He's keeping the momentum alive. That's the biggest thing. But again, he is not in the right frame of mind here in terms of any cautions, anything else popping up that could affect him. He needs to be extremely smooth here and smart about this. Laps left to go, and this is starting to become a bit of a watch out here on that 12. He knows he's in trouble. 2 seconds now, gapped up. They are putting on the Barners. They are putting out the turbos. They're putting out the nitrous oxide. They're putting the Nitrox 3.5, whatever you want to call it at this point, or Nitrox 2 boost. There's so many things you can name it. Either way, William White, Corey Abbott, and Robert Kahn, they are now in full-on sprint mode, and they have one target, and it's just right ahead in turn number 3 and 4. It's a big blue and pink car, and it's about to become literally their target to victory. Laps remain, time running out. Norgard is in trouble. Second and a half. William White will catch him within about 3 or 4 laps, I'd say. Norgard knows he needs help and he needs something at this point. Even a caution actually may help him if he gets it to where it's only about 2 to go. Might have a chance to hold him off for 2 laps, but I don't think he'll have enough anyway. Either way, this is pretty much a do or die situation for him. He's going to have to block the wheels off everybody back there. He knows he's going to be caught up to in a second. But blocking this late in the race, I mean, do you really expect them to be too clean with you at that point? I think at this point you realize they may do some crazy things. Six laps now, about to turn to 5 next time. On by White now, trying to get the dirty airflow swayed off from that 12 and using it back on the 21. He's going to use everything he can. He's so close, and he knows it. Here we go now, final 5 laps, and just like as I said, it'll take about 3 or 4 laps for him to catch him, and White has caught him. Norgard trying to defend, trying to block. His championship implications could be up for grabs if he does not win this race. He could be looking at one slipping right on by him, and he throws one big time at White, but White does not phase down. He goes straight to the inside. Big move coming up from turn 3. Looking for the runoff. White gonna dip his toes in and send it on the bottom shelf. High side goes the 12, and too much run and lift off on the rear end. It gives the 43 enough to move. White has got the lead. Abbott trying to catch him. Trying now to roll it back through. A little slide it up in from the 21 to the 12. Now Kahn nicks it in the 18. Trying to see if he can bang it up a little bit on the back straightaway. Looking for anything left in the tank. Norgard, man, he just does not seem to care if it's Kahn or ever. He just doesn't want him there. And Kahn's had enough. He gives him the bump. He gave him the run. And Norgard just dumped him through turn number 4. Caution is out on the track, and a blatant hit by Norgard. Robert Kahn just completely dumped there off turn number 4, and I guarantee it, William White is going to be one furious individual with that 12 back down there, or the 18, whichever one he wants to think about who did it, because Norgard just dumped the 18 there off turn number 4. Oh my goodness. And I get Kahn gave him the bump and gave him the run, but then Norgard, I don't know if I agree with that one. If I said I do not care for right hookers, I do not care for a slap, for a corner off like that either. That was a bit blatant and a very disrespectful move, you ask me. And it looks like Norgard is going to go into pit road. Same with White and Abbott. Looked like White was trying to get in there quickly, but he made the mistake. Now Abbott going to try to capitalize on it. This is going to be a do or die situation here. This is do or die. Do you choose? You got to take your tires. You just got to take tires. Take the tires, get the fuel, and get the run out of there. Who gets more and who goes with what? Louder. Oh, look at this. Austin Louder. Going to try to take down what looks like with that right side set. I think White took all 4s. The way that looked. Abbott thinking he can take it with right sides. And Austin Louder thinking the same. He goes with the right sides. White and Norgard will go in late with the 4. Kahn, well, at this point, I don't know what else you can say about this damaged up 18 machine, man. Oh, my word. What a horrible, horrible car this one looks like. And I guarantee you, he is furious. He is mad. He's got to be angry. I can't blame him one bit. He's going to go into pit road. I think they have one instant repair at least, which will help out, obviously. But, man, that was heartbreaking there, man. I don't even know what the heck to say to that. I know I got very furious and mad, but it really does make me mad, guys, when I see drivers go to that trouble, do that risk, and then do something as crazy as that. I get a bump and run's not favorable, but the one thing I definitely don't say is more favorable is just right hooking somebody. So... Khan going to be in the pits, going to get it damaged up and cleaned up, and, well, let's just say if he gets his chance, I think he'll have no trouble having a golden opportunity here to get to that old 12, and it looks like Norgard going to the back of the pack. They're going to ship him back there. Looks like they do not want anything to do with that dirty driving in their mind. And Khan probably thinking that is a bit dirty even for him. But this is the troublesome spot here. William White had the race lead and maybe the win locked up had he just been able to get to the white flag. Lights have come off on the track now. Tempers are going to be flaring up a little bit, I guarantee, on this restart. We'll see what happens. Time has come, time has gone, here we go. Jay Mitchell says, cheers guys, good racing, back to the fire pit. Jay, well, stay with us for just this last set. We've got a green-white checker coming for you, buddy. This could get interesting. Abbott and Lauder trying to finally get some wins on the column. Lauder looking for his first. Abbott looking for quite a deal here. William White looking for win number 3 and a chance to secure a championship up. Garrett Brooks also looking to get one for off on oval side. Here we go. 2 to go. Green is out. White did not get a good start. Abbott gets a great run off. Lauder trying to hang in there. William White immediately trying to go into the offense. Immediately dealing with Brooks on the inside. On the outside lanes, he comes from the inside spot. Looks like Abbott may have put things together here for this final leg of the race. Lauder trying to hang in it. He's going to build up one last bit of run coming down through turn number 4. White flag comes on out. Lauder's not out of it yet. He's going for anything he can, trying to see if he can get a little bit of a grip, get a little bit of a speed boost off, but it looked like this one may fall into the 21's and a little blobble off of turn number 2. Lauder mistakenly getting him run off too quick. Sheer patience and overall strategy. Corey Abbott catches William White off guard entering pit road, and he'll catch them all off guard to the finish line. Corey Abbott wins it in Nashville. Oh man, that one is going to be a bit of a stinger for the 43. Had that caution not come out, had he not made the mistake to enter in or not enter in pit road, he gave this one up. But if you're going to give up a win to anybody, might as well let it be to someone that has been as fast and as furious as they can come to get these race wins. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Abbott will win this one, and William going to come up to him. Or perhaps a show of respect. And maybe just a reminder like, hey, you get this one, but hey, I still got more than you this season. So Abbott says, I could care less. I finally got one on you, buddy. Victory Lane celebration for the number 21, Corey Abbott. Jay Mitchell says, enjoy the rest of your vacation and was here to the end. Thank you, Jay, for sticking around and appreciate that. Still have a few more days of my vacation time, so I'll be home soon enough. Don't worry there. But what a way to kick it out here for Six Sigma Overall League there, ladies and gentlemen. A huge finish and a big finish off the drive. Wayne White, Austin Louder, Corey Abbott, your top three. We'll see if they decide to join us. I'm going to give my countdown clock now. 2 minutes on the clock. We'll see if any of them join. If not, I'm calling it a night and heading back on my vacation time. See, we got William White now joining us in, ladies and gentlemen. Your third place finish from the 43. William, great to see you again, hear from you. But William, oh man, sir, you had pretty much gotten the bad luck on both ends. The caution comes out, you lead it, then pit road. You're thinking about going in, then going out. Abbott catches you off guard, and that one looked like it cost you there, buddy.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult because, you know, we got back up to the front. It was kind of like a reverse of Charlotte with a late in there, having to try and run him down at the end. But, yeah, it was quite fun to try and see if I could catch him. We ended up managing to catch him with about 5 to go, and I thought I had it in the bag. I thought that was 3 in a row right in front of me, but the caution came out. Leighton and Robert had their crash. I haven't seen the replay yet, but, yeah, definitely not ideal for me because I was stuck. Whatever I did, the guys behind were going to do the opposite. And, yeah, I just couldn't do anything behind Corey and Austin. They were quick on their 2 tires and they made it work.
So, obviously, I know we're going for a championship season run, if you will. Still another podium to your name and another go at it here. With a couple more races left in the season, does the option still look pretty good for you in this team today?
Oh, definitely. I mean, Robert's our biggest championship contender at the moment. We've gained some points on him. So the belief is definitely starting to set in that, you know, we've got, I think there's 3 podiums in a row now, I think 5 on the season. We've been super consistent all season. Yeah, belief definitely starting to set in that we can take the crown this season.
For sure there. Well, William, man, still some time to bring it across the pond back to Victory Lane and that championship with it. But, William, as you come away third, who do you want to thank here in Nashville today?
Obviously, all the guys at Abbott Motorsport, super helpful, super fun as always. Andrew Harcroft, Corey Abbott, Leighton Norgard. Brian Beeman was in the voice chat with us as well, and obviously all the guys that raced with us for having a nice, clean race all the way.
For sure there. Well, White, great to have you on board. Congratulations for bringing on home third place today.
Thank you.
The 43, ladies and gentlemen, William White, your third place finisher today. Austin Louder now coming into us in the second place spot today, and Austin, oh boy, did you almost have something figured out there, good sir. You pulled it out at second on pit road and almost took Abbott to a ride there, my friend.
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt like I just barely got beat off pit road then. If I feel like I could have beat him off, I could have possibly had a chance at the win, but it was still a great finish nonetheless.
Still a good finish indeed here. Now, obviously, I know you're still looking for that first win, trying to get that off your radar, off your list here. But to be able to come away today for second place today, I mean, does that kind of help boost yourself up a little more and get yourself a little more on that edge and on the cusp to get it there today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just bought this track about 15 minutes before the race today, and to come home second, it's great.
Well, coming away second after just buying it a little while ago. Austin, I'll ask you this, good sir. Who do you want to thank her for this one?
Well, I want to thank Chris for sitting in the voice chat with me during that race, helping me, supporting me throughout the whole race, and of course all the guys in the racing clean almost all the way through. It's great fun.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless there, Austin, congratulations taking it on home to second place today, good sir.
Thank you.
Austin Louder, ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher, and now coming away the race winner, of course, can't forget him, Corey Abbott, going to go to Victory Lane today. And Corey, my word, good sir, usually we've been able to talk to you so many times at Victory Lane. It's been a time, man. What has been going on out there on the track?
People are fast. People's gone really fast this season. Robert Kahn's been up front what feels like a lot more, which I feel kind of silly saying that because Robert is fast. William White's been up front a ton. Leighton's been consistent. We've been there. We just haven't had the top three or race winning speed. Last time we did was Pocono, and then we shot ourselves in the foot. So come out here and get it. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Pretty good to take on home and be able to figure out here today. I know, obviously, you've said you've had the speed and you've had everything dialed in, but just the fact now that you've been able to finally put two and two together, does this kind of set your bar up and set yourself up for what you got coming up in the one next times around?
I hope so. I don't even remember the schedule, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what is next week. Um, yeah, we're gonna look to keep this momentum and go into something and start getting some top threes again.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here, it's been a time, it's been a while, but Abbott, it's great to hear from you again. I will ask you as always, who do you want to thank you for this one, good sir?
I gotta thank my guys at Abbott Motorsports, Andrew, William, Leighton. We all had a great run tonight. Bummer with the caution there at the end, and with Will. Yeah, I hate it for him. I wanted to win, but I hate it for him because if that caution didn't come out, I don't think I'm getting to him in time. I didn't think I have it. But yeah, really proud of my guys. Glad Brian Beeman joined us tonight. He's a great guy. Always fun to race with him.
For sure there. Well, Corey, man, take this one home for Victory Lane. Congratulations today.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner today, it will be Corey Abbott. And that will about do it for your coverage today, ladies and gentlemen. Here, we appreciate you all coming on down to the track, come on down to the show. From all of us here at PT Race TV, we are signing off today. Thanks so much to our friends at Six Sigma Sim Racing and to the Oval League. Until next time, race fans, have a good one out there.